In comparison to secondary school, I would say college is a lot more stressful. There's a need to have a much higher work ethic and to be much more consistent than at GCSE. And obviously, it's more about understanding what you're doing rather than the parrot fashion learning that you're taught at secondary school. However, overall, I do enjoy it more. I definitely enjoy the freedom more. The breaks that I get feel well earned. I'm able to spend time with friends, meet new people, and I think it's a step up from secondary school, but worth it, in my opinion. Well, in terms of what the content of the course is like, comparing secondary school to college, it's quite a vast difference. Like I said, you can't sort of get away with memorizing everything in the book and then writing it down for the exam. You need to understand, you need to practice, you need to repetitively make sure that you can apply your knowledge in any kind of content. And that can be quite difficult to do if you don't start learning that early. So, yeah, I'd say it's a lot more difficult in that respect. I'd say my favorite aspect of college life so far has got to be the freedom. The campus itself feels bigger and more expansive than secondary school. I feel less confined. I feel like when I'm able to, do anything in my spare time, it's possible I can go where I want, do where I want, library, canteen with friends. So I feel like the sort of open option to do what I want whenever I want is a lot better than it was in secondary school. In terms of my plans after college, I definitely would like to go into higher education. For what I want to do, I want to be a pharmacist. University is an essential. There is no sort of apprenticeship, there is no sort of real walk up and do it. You have to have the knowledge of the medicines involved, otherwise, you can't really do the job. So, for me, university is a pretty clear cut route to what I want to do when I'm older. In terms of what courses I may have considered before coming here, there were a couple, well, I say a couple more, one. I always had a sort of low key interest in psychology. However, it was quite fickle. Sometimes I wanted to, sometimes I didn't. And after discovering that actually to apply for a psychology degree at university, you don't actually need to take psychology, it seemed to make more sense just to sort of direct my route down the sciences and then branch out should I feel the need to when I apply to uni. Well, currently the phone I have is the iPhone 4. There's no particular reason I didn't buy it myself. It was a birthday present a while back. I hadn't had a phone up until that point, so my parents thought it was about time that I finally had one that I could use. Technology wise, I have a tablet, a Samsung Galaxy tablet, and I also own a laptop. I cannot remember the name of the laptop, I just know I have one. That's about all I can say for that. In terms of how much I use my phone every day, I would say I use it quite a lot. I use it maybe a little too much. It's my source of entertainment. It's my source of information. I watch videos. I listen to music on it. So it's almost attached to the hip when it comes to my phone. I'd say the piece of technology I simply can't live without has still got to be my phone. Before I had a laptop or a tablet or even like a TV in my room, my phone is what I used for almost everything. So to sort of take that away from my daily routine could be almost fatal in today's world. I would say I probably have not gone a day without using any of these devices in a very, very long time. I don't want to say I'm dependent on them, but it would be more accurate to say I have no reason to not use them. So the answer to that question would be no. It's been a long time since I've not used any of these devices in a day. I would say my technology has had an impact on my work to the degree that that's normally where I do my work on. Me personally, my handwriting isn't the best, so I find it a lot easier to type up my work on a laptop. So that often involves me submitting homework after I've printed it off, and it generally makes the process a lot more efficient, both for me and the teacher. So it's had a really beneficial impact. Personally, in terms of whether I think we'll become too reliant on technology in the future, it's definitely a foreseeable possibility. You have kids nowadays at the age of 2 and 3 already using iPads and iPhones. It's not something that you really saw in the past. So, personally, I feel like eventually, if we don't stop with this sort of development, we are going to get to a point where even simplistic skills are things that we can't do on our own anymore.